What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back for another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. Thankfully, nothing too crazy is happening this week. And I say that by the time I'm recording this podcast, nothing crazy has happened. Now, if the podcast releases and when you listen to it, something crazy done popped off. Hey, man, that's out of my control, man. Ain't got nothing to do with me, okay? I'm recording this and it has been a fairly, let me do air quotes, fairly light week. So with that, just want to talk about a couple things that will be going on as it relates to Black people and a couple topics that I'm going to touch on, but not really go too deep into. First, I was tagged on, y'all know I upload the podcast on YouTube, and I was tagged on YouTube and shout out to Stumpy Lily. Stumpy Lily. Y'all know I be struggling with these names, okay? I'm so sorry. I even struggle with my own name, okay? Stumpy Lily recommended that I watch Dear Mama on Hulu, and I watched it, and it was fantastic. Thank you, Stumpy Lily, for tagging me in that and suggesting that I should watch it. Now, I did have an intention to check it out, but for some reason, it just wasn't high priority for me. I don't know why. One, maybe because I don't have cable. And I know it came on FX and Hulu. So I haven't been seeing commercials or any advertisements for it because I'm not watching. My TV isn't on like a cable channel where I can get that constant promotion. So I only was seeing like clips and trailers for when I was catching up on Snowfall this last season. So it just wasn't really on my radar to be like a point of urgency. But for those who have not watched it, Dear Mama is on Hulu now. It came on FX as well. It is a limited series that documents the life of both Afeni Shakur and Tupac Shakur. Afeni is Tupac's mother, and of course, Tupac, the legend. Now, it was a bunch of stuff that I loved about this, but one thing I really appreciate is the fact that we are still learning about Tupac's life years after he died. Tupac was killed in 1996, and I feel like, are always uncovering so many different things about him that we did not know. And this documentary really highlighted that, especially as it relates to his mother, because we knew once Tupac died that Afeni took charge and control over his legacy, and she was really the person that got it to the point where we are still talking about Tupac, and he is still bigger than he was in life, I would say, now that he's dead. Well, I take that back. He was big in both ways, but in different ways. But it talked about how Afeni was one of the more influential people in the Black Panther Party. How when she went on trial with other members of the Black Panther Party, they basically accused them of terroristic threats and said that her and a bunch of other people were about to bomb different areas in New York City and do a bunch of stuff and commit crimes and kill people and all these things. She actually defended herself and got off, beat the charges by defending herself. She was a part of her in collaboration with people at Harlem Hospital to I think it's kind of like the code of conduct that doctors follow or that the hospital follows in regards to patients. She was one of the people who helped bring that to life and get that off the ground. I learned so much about Afeni Shakur, and I'm disappointed that I did not know a lot of this before. In regards to Tupac, again, learned a lot about him. One point was, if Tupac didn't get a record deal, he was planning to be the chairman of the new African Panthers. Y'all know when the Black Panther Party, like in the 90s, the early 90s, late 80s, resurfaced and got big again. And he was supposed to be the chairman. Like, And to me, that just speaks to who Tupac was. We see him as this artist and this rapper. And yes, he was larger than life and he seemed so much older, but to the point where they were grooming him to be or to take on the mantle and represent the Black Panther Party at the highest level. So when I heard that and saw that, I was like, that made it, to me, just made so much sense because of how educated, mixed with militant, mixed with creative, mixed with self-assured, mixed with rebellious Tupac was. Overall, it was great. I really enjoyed it. One of the Hughes brothers, I believe it was Alan Hughes, directed it. And if y'all don't remember, him and his brother had a falling out with Tupac years ago when they were shooting, was it Menace to Society? They got into a fight and Tupac team jumped Alan and beat his ass because of something that went down. So it was a full circle moment for him to be the one directing this because they had that history and they addressed that in the documentary as well. I recommend it. If you were a Tupac fan like me, listen, y'all couldn't tell me when I got of age, when I turned 18, me and Tupac wasn't going to be together. You could not. The plan was I was going to turn 18, go to LA, find Tupac. He was going to see me, fall in love, and we were going to be together. I know he was with Kadada at the time. Quincy Jones' daughter, him and Kadada were together. But in my mind, he was going to be like, Kadada, you old news. Cornelia the one I'm going to be with. And we were going to be together. So when Tupac died, y'all could not tell me that my future was not over. I was devastated, okay? Not just personally. I was a Tupac fan of his music. Was too young to be listening to it, but I was rapping my ass off to all of those albums and had them. The music in this documentary will take you back to that time. It was edited well. The stories were woven in. He had lots of different family and friends who were speaking on behalf of him and recounting the history. It talked about everything that you know about Tupac and the trials, the rape allegations, him being shot, it all of it. Highly recommend. And I also recommend it if you don't know anything about Tupac, because maybe a lot of Black News listeners may be younger than I am. And I was, again, almost turning 14 when Tupac died. So I was young. So if you're a Black News listener and you were younger than me, you probably missed that whole thing. You probably missed it. But this is the perfect thing to watch to learn about Tupac, learn about his mother, learn about his legacy, and to understand why Tupac, to me, is the most influential rapper in history. I don't think I wouldn't say the best. I'm saying the most influential rapper ever is Tupac Shakur. With that, did y'all watch it? If not, are you planning to? Again, thank you and shout out to Stumpy Lily for recommending it because it wasn't on my radar, and I'm glad she put it on my radar because I won't even say they, because I don't know how people identify these days and I want to be respectful, but it was fantastic. Hit me up and let me know your thoughts on it, or if you're planning to watch. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. Next, I want to get everybody excited and prep to see The Little Mermaid this weekend, opening weekend, May 26th, I believe is when the movie is coming out, starring Halle Bailey, the first Black woman to be playing Ariel in The Little Mermaid, whether it's live action, cartoon, whatever, stage, whatever. She the first. We gonna be in the building. I ain't got no kids, but I'm going. Okay, I'm going. I'm gonna be in there, and I'm gonna go see IMAX because IMAX got the better screen at the movie theater. I think we all should see it for many reasons. One, y'all remember when it was first announced that that Halle Bailey got the role as Ariel. The bigots was pissed. When the trailer first dropped, bigots was pissed. On the press tour, okay? The press tour, bigots was pissed. So for that alone, I think we should all go out and support this movie. I haven't read no reviews. I don't really care. And honestly, I don't think reviews matter for movies that skew towards children. Like if you a grown woman or a grown man and you writing up full like critiques and reviews for movies for kids, I just don't. Kids gonna like what they like, and kids not looking at movies for the cinematic quality and the storyline. They just want to know: do I feel good? Do the person on the screen represents me and what I'm going through? And is it a good time? And can I get some popcorn and a Slurpee at the theater? That's what kids worried about. Okay, so I think as the adults, we should really show up for this movie and for Halle Bailey, because again, I think it's just going to be a really good time. I'm going to be crying. Y'all, I be crying in movies now. Okay? I be crying and I know it, especially when Halle sings all of her songs. Yes, because she's a fantastic singer, but it's just that nostalgic feeling, right? It's nostalgia. And I also recalled recently, for some reason, I thought when the cartoon, the first Little Mermaid came out, I felt like I was like in high school. This whole time I was thinking, y'all had to be like in high school when this came out. I wasn't really watching this and up on this. But as more clips of Halle singing songs from the soundtrack came out, I knew all the words. So then I Googled, when did The Little Mermaid came out? Y'all, that came out in 89. Y'all, I was a little girl in 89. I remember that I even had the soundtrack on CD. I asked my dad to order on Columbia House. Y'all know, shout out to Columbia House, where you can go in a magazine, pick your CDs, and you get like 10 CDs for $1. But you had to pay the subscription. I had The Little Mermaid soundtrack on CD. So I was a fan, have been a fan, and literally forgot or somehow told myself that I had a car and a pager when this movie came out originally. No, your girl was a child, okay? So in honor of nurturing my inner child, because that's also something that I'm doing in my adult years, there were a lot of things as a child that I did not do because I just did not have the language to express that I wanted to do them. Maybe my parents did not put me in those things. Maybe my gifts weren't noticed, whatever the case. So now as an adult, I'm trying to do all of the things that I wanted to do as a kid to make me happy. So to honor my little or inner child and little Cornelia, I am going to go see the dang Little Mermaid, and I cannot wait. Will y'all be going? Because we need to show up. If you got some little nieces or some, or some nephews, or you got like some mentees, you be babysitting, whatever, take them. If you ain't, go anyway, because I'm about to be the solo dolo grown ass woman at the Little Mermaid, and I'm going to the late show. Will y'all be singing? I want y'all to hit me up and let me know what y'all thought about it after the fact. We're going to talk about it because I'm really excited. I'm really happy for Halle Bailey. She's like a fantastic young woman. I just like Chloe and Halle in general. I just like their vibe and who they are and how they're presenting themselves and their talent and gifts. I just really appreciate those two. So I'm just going to support regardless. But let me know what your thoughts are about it. Hit me up on social media and let me know. Speaking of another movie that I'm personally excited about is The Color Purple. Not the original with Steven Spielberg, the remake that is done in the spirit of the musical, the Broadway musical, The Color Purple. The trailer dropped today, the day that I'm recording this, and y'all was boo-hooing the whole time. I told y'all I'd be crying. And every time I hear the song from the Broadway version, I'm Here, whether it's Cynthia Erivo singing it or Fantasia singing it, it just takes me down. Okay. And that song, I'm Here, tears me up every time. And that was one of the songs, or the song, that was scoring the trailer that came out. So I saw that. I was like, oh, y'all, I'm about to be toe up in here. Okay. I'm about to be crying the whole time, and I cannot wait. I also, though, don't appreciate, let me add this. Every time something come out now, as of late, people be just waiting to be negative about it. And I don't know if, like, what's happening. I keep talking about this every week, but something is happening. As soon as it drops, here come people with the negativity. Why we got to have remake? Ain't nobody got no new ideas. Why we got to watch The Color Purple? I don't want to see that. Why then they made Halle character Nettie? Why she got to be light skinned this time? We gonna do. And then here go. Why do got people be accepting these roles? Whatever. Taraji P. Henson in there and she don't even be singing. They could have gave it to a real singer. Or why they put Fantasia up in there? She don't even look like she would be right with the role. Like, you name it. People complaining about it. And look, we all have critique. We all have our preferences. But let me say this, and I'm trying to say this as nice as I can, but I'm trying to give some benefit of the doubt here, some grace. If you don't or have never created something, and you don't know how hard it is to get something done in the creative world, whether it's writing a song, producing a song, playing instruments on the song, getting an album done, auditioning, booking a role, memorizing 150 pages of dialogue, shooting the movie, producing it, getting it made, writing a television show, getting it purchased, getting a studio behind it, everybody saying yes and shooting episodes of that show, even moving from your damn hometown to chase a dream and do something. If you haven't done something similar or equivalent, or know people or experiences or have some type of understanding of it, chill out with the critical feedback. It is very difficult to do these things. So when you see a movie trailer drop, and let's say you have a problem with it, you know what? Cool. Shut your mouth and just don't go see the movie. Don't bash something or try to persuade other people to think the same way you do just because you feel a way about it. Let's do that for people. Let's do a solid for people. Because it is very hard to do things and to be in this entertainment industry. It is so difficult. And the last thing that people need is that damn negative Nancy's coming through with the, well, I don't know. I mean, they ain't got no high. Why they gotta be? Shut up. I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go see that movie on Christmas Day, and I'm going to have me a pack of Kleenex because your girl going to be boo-hooing. Okay? I hope that you all will support and do the same. The cast is stacked. Okay? It's stacked. Coleman Domingo. Halle Bailey is also in this. Corey Hawkins. You got Fantasia. Taraji P. Henson. I think Sierra is even in it playing the adult version of Nettie. You got, I forget Danielle's last name, but she played Tasty on Orange is the New Black. Fantastic actress. She's in this. This movie is stacked. We need to support it. This movie is stacked. Produced by Oprah, Steven Spielberg, and Quincy Jones. I'm going to be up in there. Y'all going to go see it? Let me know what you thought about the trailer if you watch. And when tickets drop, you going to get yours in advance or you going to wait to buy yours at the door. Let me know. Hit me up at Cornelia on social media. Now, next, this is something that I saw on Twitter, and I don't know if it is recent or fact fiction, because y'all know, listen, Twitter, they be lying on Twitter, okay? Twitter, what's going on right now is modern day COINTELPRO, okay? Where there is a targeted movement or effort to cause discourse within the Black community. You can't tell me that right now on Twitter we not experiencing COINTELPRO. But in regards to this, people started posting today that according to Ice Cube, he is saying that Black people need to abandon or move away from or leave the Democratic Party as we look towards this upcoming presidential election. Okay, so a few things. And I'm going to keep it quick because I ain't going to spend too much time on damn Ice Cube, okay? I'm all for people picking the parties that they want to align with. Do what you want. And listen, we all know this. When you talk about older Black people, if the Republican Party weren't a racist party, because let's keep it a buck. If all Republicans ain't racist, but if you racist, you probably going to be a Republican. That's just what I heard. Okay. That's allegedly. Okay. That's what they saying. Allegedly. I'm all for people doing that. But for older Black people, if the Republican Party didn't align that way, a lot of our parents and grandparents would be Republicans because they lean very conservative. They are not liberal. They are not progressive in the sense when it comes to reproductive rights and women's rights and equality and LGBTQ plus rights. They ain't. They would be conservative. And understand, they're just older and a little more, straight and narrow. Old school. So I'm fine with people aligning with what they want to align with. That's all cool. But what we not going to do is what we do every year, where we wait till the 25th hour before the election or the primaries or things start, and then we start trying to throw a wrench into what's going on. Pick your candidate now. If you saying that the Republican Party is the better party, or if you saying that the Democratic Party is not the party for Black people, or if you saying the candidates in front of us are bad candidates and we need to do something different, now is the time to introduce your candidate. Because what we not going to do is wait till the end and wait till the Republican nominee has been announced. And then here come Joe Biden and people be like, we ain't voting for Joe Biden. Okay, so who are we voting for instead? Y'all got right now to put forth your candidate. Who is your candidate? Because we not doing this again. They did this last time for the presidential election when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were announced. And we were in the final stretch, maybe 2 months out from the actual election. Here come, and I'm not going to name no names. We ain't settling. We need better options. Where were you for the last 3 years? So whether it's Ice Cube, whether it's people on social media, whether it's your auntie, whether it's them ashies on social media, on Facebook, because they about to get fired up again, whoever it may be, now is the time to put y'all's candidate up. Who is the better option? Let's get it out of the way now so we don't have to go through this again. And again, align with who you want to align with. Whatever party, do what you need to do. I know what I'm going to do. But again, don't wait until the bitter end and try to ruin shit, because we saw what happened when your boy was elected. The Supreme Court is now in shambles. Reproductive rights off the table. Everything we said that was going to happen is happening. Hell, Ron DeSantis and done eliminated Black history completely from the whole state of Florida. What are we going to do? Okay, so put your candidate up now. And again, let me go back. I don't know if Ice Cube really said this go around, or people just resurfacing old clips of what he said before. I don't know, but it was spreading. And then the first thing I thought was, oh Lord, here we go. So let me know where y'all stand with this. What we doing? What should we do? And how do we maintain our sanity as we head into this upcoming presidential election that's gonna happen? It's gonna start kicking off this year. Hit me up on social media at Cornelia with your thoughts. On this week's episode of Black News, we talked about Dear Mama, the Tupac and Afeni Shakur documentary that is on FX/Hulu. Currently out. Watch it if you haven't. Fantastic documentary, or whatever we're calling this, on the life of both of those people. Next, we talked about The Little Mermaid and it coming out this weekend, and how all Black people, including your old Black ass, need to be in theaters supporting that film and supporting Halle Bailey. Also, do the same with The Color Purple. The trailer dropped for the Christmas release of the movie musical, and I think it's fantastic, and I'm going to be up in the building crying my eyes out, because that's just what I be doing at movies. And lastly, we touched on the upcoming election and alleged thoughts and comments from Ice Cube about Black people leaving the Democratic Party. Are you in agreement or not? Or what do you think in general? Hit me up with your thoughts about all of these topics, some or none, and I'll check back in with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you again so much for sticking with us, supporting the podcast, liking and subscribing on all apps where podcasts can be heard, rating 5 stars, and leaving a comment. It helps more than you know, so I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing Black News with all of your friends and family. Be sure to hit me up on social media if you got ideas for topics. Or just hit me up in general to let me know you've been listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Cornelia on all platforms across the board. That's at Cornelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. Also check my website. I got some shows coming up in Los Angeles County. Hopefully get on the road soon. But for now, if you're in the LA area, hit me up. Check Cornelia.com for show dates and details. And as always, thanks again so much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Keep supporting, keep growing, keep building, keep staying safe, and keep staying healthy. As always, again, I'll see you back here next time, same time, same place. Bye.